JDW Blood Rumble 15th show of 2022 by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to the 15th show of Blood Rumble. Tonight we have number 1 contender matches for our champions. And I can't wait, said announcer number 1. Me either. Tonight is gonna be a special night for some people. I could feel it, said announcer number 2. Then let's head to the ring and get started. What do you think? Asked announcer number 1. I think we should, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is a fatal 4-women's battle royale and a number 1 contenders match for the ladies championship. Introducing the challengers, Ivory, Raven, Blue Rose and Gemini, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. All 4 women are attacking each other. Raven punches Ivory. Ivory goes into ropes. Raven lifts Ivory. Ivory is struggling, then starts kicking Raven. Raven groans, then lets go of Ivory. Ivory grabs Raven's head, then bounces it off the top turnbuckle. Raven groans. Blue Rose is kicking Gemini. Gemini slides down the corner. Blue Rose sticks her foot underneath Gemini's chin. Gemini is groaning. Ivory whips Raven. Raven reverses it. Ivory goes into the corner. Raven runs at Ivory. Ivory boots Raven. Raven staggers away. Ivory jumps onto the second rope. Raven turns around. Ivory jumps off the second rope, then drop kicks Raven. Raven falls onto the mat. Blue Rose looks at Ivory. Ivory stands up. Blue Rose clotheslines Ivory. Ivory groans. Blue Rose does an elbow drop onto Ivory's back. Ivory groans. Blue Rose picks Ivory up, lifts her onto her shoulders, then approaches the ropes. Ivory grabs the top rope, then squirms. Blue Rose is struggling. Ivory lands onto her feet behind Blue Rose, grabs her right leg, then lifts her over the top rope. Blue Rose lands onto the floor. Blue Rose is eliminated, said announcer number 1. Gemini appears behind Ivory. Ivory turns around. Gemini goes for a jumping cutter onto Ivory. Ivory pushes Gemini. Raven kicks Gemini's stomach, sets her up for a powerbomb, wraps her arms, then does a double arm underhook facebuster onto her. Gemini groans. Ivory kicks Raven's stomach. Raven groans. Ivory goes to throw Raven over the top rope. Raven reverses it. Ivory goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Ivory needs to be careful. One false move and she's eliminated, said announcer number 2. Raven punches Ivory. Ivory is swaying on the ledge of the ring. Raven punches Ivory again. Ivory continues swaying on the ledge of the ring. Raven goes punch Ivory a third time. Ivory shoulder blocks Raven's stomach. Raven groans, the bends over. Ivory jumps over the top rope, rolls onto Raven's back, lands onto her feet, runs, then bounces off the ropes on the opposite side of the ring. Raven stands up, then clotheslines Ivory. Ivory groans. Now, that was a clothesline, said announcer number 1. All she has to do is throw Ivory over the top rope, said announcer number 2. Raven stands up, picks Ivory up, runs towards the ropes, then throws her over the top of them. Ivory is holding onto the top rope. Raven looks at Ivory, then approaches her. Ivory lifts her legs up, then wraps them around Raven's head. Raven is slowly being pulled over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Oh, both women need to be careful here, said announcer number 1. Both Ivory and Raven stand up, then start punching each other. Gemini stands up, then walks towards both Ivory and Raven. Both Ivory and Raven punch Gemini, then hang her off the top rope. Gemini falls onto the mat. Both Ivory and Raven stand up onto the ledge of the ring. Raven punches Ivory. Ivory groans, then punches Raven. Raven groans, then goes to punch Ivory. Ivory ducks. Raven spins around. Ivory grabs Raven's shoulders, jumps up, then goes for backstabber onto her. Raven holds onto the top rope. Ivory lands onto the ledge of the ring, then groans. "Man, that must have hurt Ivory," said announcer number 2. Raven picks Ivory, kicks her stomach, sets her up for a powerbomb, then does a double arm underhook facebuster onto the ledge of the ring. Ivory goes limp. Raven groans. Both Ivory and Raven fall off the ledge of the ring at the same time. Bell dings. "Here's your winner, Gemini," said announcer number 3. Raven is holding her right knee. Paramedics are running down the ramp, then kneeling next to Raven. "Raven must have hurt her knee on the ledge," said announcer number 1. "Hope she's all right," said announcer number 2. So, at the next pay-per-view, Willow defends her title against Gemini, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a 4-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contenders match for the U.S. Continental Championship. Introducing the challengers, Smite, Blueprint, Havoc and the Guns, said announce number 3. Bell dings. All 4 are attacking each other. Havoc is punching Blueprint. Blueprint is groaning. Havoc bounces Blueprint off of the ropes, then does a scoop power slam onto him. Blueprint groans. The Guns is kicking Smite. Smite is sliding down the corner, then groans. The Gun continuously kicking Smite. Smite continuously groaning. Both Havoc and the Guns turn around, then stare at each other. Here's a fight, said announcer number 1. You want a piece of me, do you? Asked the Guns. Havoc punches the Guns. The Guns groans, then punches Havoc. Havoc groans, then punches the Guns. Both Havoc and the Guns continuously punch each other. One will need to give up, said announcer number 2. The Guns goes to clothesline Havoc. Havoc ducks, runs, then bounces off of the ropes. The Guns turns around, then gets clotheslined. Havoc continuously clotheslines the Guns, lifts him up, then slams him onto the mat. The Guns groans. Oh yeah, said Havoc. Blueprint kicks Havoc's stomach, then goes to throw him over the top rope. Havoc reverses it, then throws Blueprint over the top rope. Blueprint lands onto the ledge of the ring. Havoc approaches Blueprint. Blueprint's shoulder blocks Havoc's stomach. Havoc groans, then turns around. The Guns clotheslines Havoc. Havoc groans. Blueprint holds up his hand. The Guns clotheslines Blueprint. Blueprint lands onto the ledge of the ring. The Guns turns around. Havoc stands up, then turns around. The Guns lifts Havoc onto his right shoulder, then walks towards the ropes. Havoc grabs the top rope. The Guns tries throwing Havoc over the top rope. Havoc lands onto his feet behind the Guns, then steps backwards. The Guns turns around next to the ropes. Havoc runs at the Guns, then clotheslines him over the top rope. The Guns lands onto the floor. The Guns is eliminated, said announcer number 1. Blueprint pulls himself up onto the ledge of the ring. Havoc turns around, runs at Blueprint, then shoulder blocks his stomach. Blueprint falls off the ledge of the ring, lands onto the floor, then groans. Blueprint is gone, said announcer number 2. Havoc turns around. Smite dropkicks Havoc. Havoc goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Oh. Havoc's holding on, said announcer number 2. Smite is kicking Havoc. Havoc is groaning. Smite pulls Havoc onto the ledge of the ring. Havoc punches Smite. Smite groans. Havoc punches Smite harder. Smite groans, then walks away. Havoc starts going through the middle rope. The guns grabs Havoc's left leg. Havoc looks at the guns, stands back up onto the ledge of the ring, then kicks the guns. The guns groans, then lets go of Havoc. That's not fair. The guns is already eliminated, said announcer number 1. Smite runs at Havoc. Havoc moves. Smite's torso goes through the middle rope. Havoc kicks Smite's chest. Smite groans, then hangs onto the middle rope. Havoc runs, then does a leg drop onto Smite. Smite groans. Both Havoc and Smite land onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, Smite, said announce number 3. Havoc looks up at referee number 1. What do you mean? I wasn't eliminated, said Havoc. You didn't fully get into the ring. You came back onto the ledge. That's how you were eliminated, said referee number 1. Havoc holds his head. Havoc didn't realize that he was eliminated. That he never got back into the ring, said announcer number 1. Well, that's his fault. He should have paid attention. Sorry to say, said announcer number 2. Well, folks, we made it to our main event, said announcer number 1. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall, is a 6-man battle royale, and is a number 1 contender for the Galaxy Championship. Introducing the challengers, Wrath Hog, the Pursuer, King, Wolf, Hellfire, and Ghost Kicker, said announce number 3. Bell dings. All 6 are attacking each other. The Pursuer punches Wolf. Wolf groans, walks away, then punches the Pursuer. The Pursuer groans, then walks away. Wolf follows the Pursuer. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Ghost Kicker. Ghost Kicker falls onto the mat. Hellfire is kicking Ghost Kicker. You know, his name is Ghost Kicker, but Hellfire's the one doing the kicking, said announce number 2. Funny, said announcer number 1. Wrathhog is punching King. King continuously staggers. Wrathhog grabs King, leans him against the ropes, then lifts him up. King is holding onto the ropes. Wrathhog is hitting King's back. King groans. Wrathhog lifts King over the top rope. King continues holding onto the ropes. Hellfire taps Wrathhog's back. Wrathhog looks up at Hellfire. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Wrathhog. Wrathhog gasps, then lets go of King. Hellfire punches Wrathhog. Wrathhog groans. Hellfire whips Wrathhog into the corner, runs at him, then does a corner body splash onto him. Wrathhog groans, then walks out of the corner. Hellfire grabs Wrathhog by his throat. Wrathhog is going for a ride, said announcer number 1. Hellfire lifts Wrathhog, then chokeslams him. Wrathhog groans. Ghost Kicker jumps at Hellfire. Hellfire falls to his knees. Ghost Kicker is kicking Hellfire. Hellfire is groaning. Wrathhog slowly stands up. King appears behind Wrathhog, grabs him, runs towards the ropes, then throws him over the top of them. Wrathhog lands onto the floor. Goodbye, Wrathhog, said announce number 2. Hellfire does a throat thrust onto Ghost Kicker. Ghost Kicker gasps, then walks away. King turns around. Hellfire boots King. King groans, then rolls away. Hellfire runs at Ghost Kicker. Ghost Kicker boots Hellfire. Hellfire groans. Ghost Kicker jumps onto the second rope, then leaps at Hellfire. Hellfire grabs Ghost Kicker by his throat, lifts him up, then chokeslams him. King stands up, then turns around. Hellfire grabs King by his throat, lifts him up, then chokeslams him. King groans. Wolf runs at Hellfire. Hellfire boots Wolf. Wolf groans. Hellfire runs, then does a corner body splash onto the pursuer. The pursuer groans, then walks out of the corner. Hellfire lifts the pursuer, then does a sidewalk slam onto him. The pursuer groans. Hellfire goes through the middle ropes, then climbs up the turnbuckle. The pursuer stands up. Hellfire appears on the top turnbuckle, jumps off of it, then goes for a flying clothesline. Wolf moves the pursuer. Hellfire lands onto the mat, then groans. Wolf looks at Hellfire. Hellfire pulls himself up with the ropes. Wolf dropkicks Hellfire's back. Hellfire goes over the top rope, then lands onto the floor. Hellfire's eliminated, said announcer number 1. Hellfire looks up at Wolf. Wolf is laughing, then turns around. King swings his scepter. Wolf ducks. King turns around next to the ropes. Wolf runs, then clotheslines himself and King over the top rope. Both King and Wolf land onto the floor. There goes both King and Wolf, said announcer number 2. We're down to 2, said announcer number 1. Ghost Kicker is groaning, then slowly stands up. The pursuer turns Ghost Kicker around. Ghost Kicker jumps up, then kicks the right side of the pursuer's head. The pursuer falls onto the mat. What a jumping side kick to the pursuer's head, said announcer number 2. Now to eliminate the pursuer, said announcer number 1. Ghost Kicker stands up, picks the pursuer up, then throws him over the top rope. The pursuer is holding onto the top rope, dangles, then pulls himself onto the ledge of the ring. Ghost Kicker at the pursuer, then runs at him. The pursuer pulls down the top rope. Ghost Kicker goes over the top rope, then lands onto the ledge of the ring. Both of them need to be careful. 1 slip and that's off, said announcer number 2. Both Ghost Kicker and the pursuer continuously punch each other. The pursuer kicks Ghost Kicker's stomach. Ghost Kicker groans. The pursuer sets Ghost Kicker up for a DDT. Here it comes, said announcer number 1. Ghost Kicker punches the pursuer's left side. The pursuer is groaning. Ghost Kicker stands up, then punches the pursuer. The pursuer groans. Ghost Kicker pushes the pursuer into the ring post. The pursuer groans. Ghost Kicker steps backwards. I think Ghost Kicker's going for his side kick, said announcer number 2. The pursuer walks towards Ghost Kicker. Ghost Kicker goes for a side kick to the right side of the pursuer's head. The pursuer grabs Ghost Kicker's right leg, then continuously elbows it. Ghost Kicker continuously groaning, then holds his right leg. The pursuer kicks Ghost Kicker's stomach, then sets up for a DDT. Ghost Kicker is punching the pursuer's left side again. The pursuer groans, then goes to punch Ghost Kicker. Ghost Kicker ducks. The pursuer spins around. Ghost Kicker sets the pursuer up for a back suplex, lifts him, drops him onto the ledge, then jumps onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, the pursuer, said announcer number 3. Ghost Kicker is holding his head. Ghost Kicker just realized what he did as he dropped the pursuer onto the ledge. He jumped off the ledge, then his feet landed into the floor first, said announcer number 1. Well, Ghost Kicker tried his best. I mean, if he connected his sidekick to pursuer's head, then he would have had it, said announcer number 2. Well, congratulations to the pursuer. He's number 1 contender for the Galaxy Championship, said announcer number 1. Wait, hold up. said announcer number 2, pointing. The man runs down the ramp, approaches the pursuer, then starts punching him. Come on, he just had a back suplex onto the ledge. And you're doing this. #aid announcer number 1. He calls himself the man. But he ain't acting like one right now, said announcer number 2. The man throws the pursuer into the ring. The pursuer stops rolling. The man slides into the ring. The pursuer stands up, then goes to punch the man. The man ducks, sets up for a back suplex, lifts him up, then face plants him onto the mat. The pursuer is groaning. The man goes through the middle rope, climbs up the turnbuckle, gets to the top of it, then looks down at the pursuer. Come on, you've
proven your point, said announcer number 1. The man jumps off the top turnbuckle, then does a shooting
star press onto the pursuer. The pursuer groans. The man rolls outside of the ring, grabs the title, slides back inside it, then kneels next to the pursuer. This is mine. Do you hear me? It's mine, not yours. No one before you could take it. And you definitely won't either. I'm better than you, said the man standing up, then raises the title. The crowd is booing. Man, what a piece of work, said announcer number 1. I still don't think he should be the champion. How he beat Heckler for it was unbelievable, said announcer number 2. Well, folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye, said announcer number 2, waving. The end.